Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I decided that I would give you an update on how my pregnancy is going. I am 14 weeks and 3 days today, so I am officially out of the first trimester. It's crazy how fast it flew by. I mean, we literally just found out like mid-March, so it hasn't been super long. I did find out when I was about 3 weeks along, so fairly early. And yeah, now I'm 14 weeks, so time is flying. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Just to give you a little bit of background information, if this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, I am a military spouse. My husband is a signal officer in the Army, and we are currently stationed in Hohenfels, Bavaria. It's about an hour and a half north of Munich. So we've been in Germany. August will actually be a full year since we've moved here. So we're really enjoying it so far. We love it. The culture shock wore off within the first few months and we feel super comfortable here. Yeah, I figured I would just give you guys an update, what my symptoms were, how I've been feeling, and how everything's going so far. And especially my experience being not only a first-time mom and pregnant in a foreign country, but also pregnant during a global pandemic, because that has its own set of challenges and has definitely changed the experience a little bit from what I initially expected going into it. So I wrote everything down and I figured I would just go through my list. Let's start with my symptoms. So I'd say that my first symptom was missed period. I was 10 days late when I finally decided to test, and we were on vacation, and so that's kind of why I was holding off on testing, just because I figured I'd give it time until we got home just in case it was an irregular period. But no, once I hit like the week late mark, I was like, okay, this is a possibility, like should probably get a test. And then finally I got anxious enough that at around 10 days we decided to just go to a drugstore and pick up a test in Brazil because I couldn't wait anymore. The other symptoms that I had before I had tested was alcohol sounded so disgusting to me, and I enjoy alcohol. I enjoy drinking, especially when you're in a new country and it's part of their culture. You kind of like to experience it. It was really difficult for me to enjoy the drinks that I ordered. It was just almost repulsive. I couldn't really finish them. Even drinks that I know I enjoyed, I would order and I would struggle getting through them, so I'd give them to Mike. The other thing too was like I could not hang past 9 or 10 p.m. Majority of the wedding stuff, I could not. I was a dud. I was a party pooper. I was ready to leave within a half hour of getting there. It was not my scene. I was tired. I needed sleep. I wouldn't stop yawning. And so the fatigue was very, very real for me. And the fatigue got worse. It was like I'd sleep 10 to 12 hours a night, and then in the middle of the afternoon, I would need a 2 or 3 hour nap, and then I'd still be able to go to sleep and sleep 12 hours. Just very, very tired. I will say I will happily accept the fatigue over morning sickness. I did not get sick at all with nausea. I never threw up. I never woke up nauseous. I never had any nausea throughout the day. I've been very lucky so far with having a smooth and easy pregnancy and no sickness, so I really can't complain. The only thing is I've been super tired. I haven't really gained any weight, which is good. I've been fairly active for the most part. Now that it's getting nice out, we go for walks in the evenings with the dogs, and we do like 4 to 5 mile hikes a couple times a week. I'd actually lost some weight from walking so much, and I have gained the weight back that I've lost, but I don't consider gaining any pregnancy weight. I didn't really have any cravings my first trimester. Now that I'm slowly like into my second, I will say bagels and cream cheese have been like, I have had those every day for breakfast for probably the last 2 weeks. And it's one of those foods where it's like, it's just not, it doesn't fulfill me. The craving isn't fulfilled. Like I still want to eat them. I want like a second or a third bagel. I only eat one, but like every day I'm eating one because it's just like, it's not enough. I want all the bagels and cream cheese. My sense of smell, I will say, has heightened in the last few weeks. We would be downstairs and I'd be like, do you smell that? Mike, someone's having a bonfire, and he'd be like, what the heck are you talking about? No, they're not. And then 10 minutes later, he'd be like, oh, I smell the fire now. And I'm like, really? He's like, you just have the nose of a bloodhound, apparently, because I didn't smell it. So my sense of smell is heightened. I haven't had any food aversions, which is really good. Nothing's made me sick. Nothing makes me want to shy away from it. So I'm pretty much able to eat everything and anything that I want, which is really good. I feel lucky. Mike actually left for training yesterday, but I was going to ask him before he left if he thinks that I've been extra moody or sensitive or irritable or what have you. Because I know that obviously with your hormones fluctuating and just being all over the place, it's very common for women to have mood swings and, you know, just emotionally be everywhere. I feel like I have not had mood swings. I feel like I've been pretty stable emotionally. It's, you know, I don't get easily frustrated. I don't think that I'm extra moody or take it out on Mike. I mean, I've always had, you know, some sass and a bratty attitude every once in a while, but that's normal. I don't think that that's any stronger now that I'm pregnant. I feel like he's lucky in that sense because I haven't made his life any more annoying or difficult or frustrating with my hormones, which is good. So that's pretty much all of my symptoms that I've experienced so far. Now I'm going to talk about the differences I think there are between American and German OB care. Again, I can't speak from experience on the American side, but this is how Germany does it, and these are some of the things that I've noticed are different. So the first big difference, which I think the US needs to implement this because it's super, super convenient, it is called a Mutter Pass. So it just looks like this. It's a laminated booklet, and you get this when you're about 10 to 12 weeks along in your pregnancy. So what they do is any of your test results go in here, all of your appointments, they go ahead and schedule for you and write everything down for your entire pregnancy. So there's no guesswork on scheduling things. Obviously, if one of these appointments don't work out, you just call and you change the time or the date, but they basically give you an option. They say, do you want morning or afternoon appointments? I opted for morning. And they have every single appointment scheduled for me already up until delivery of the baby. So I think that that's really interesting. It just kind of makes it more convenient and a lot easier. You always know what your schedule is. The other big benefit of having the Mutter Pass is you have all of your patient information in here. Basically every test result that you have, everything that's been done, every piece of information is in this little booklet. So if for whatever reason you can't see your doctor, need to see a different one for a different appointment, you just bring this with you, hand it to them, and then they have all of your medical history and background information. So it makes it super convenient. You don't have to call your previous doctor's office and have them fax everything over. You just hand them this and you're good to go. The other thing that I found really interesting is OBs in Germany do not actually deliver the baby. So when we go to the hospital and it's time for me to deliver, the midwives will actually be doing that. If you hear Loki's squeaking toys, he got his bark box today and he's been squeaking for the last hour. So I apologize. Okay, that's actually gonna drive me nuts. Okay, I think he's done. Oh my God. So in the US, the blood test that they do to check for chromosomal abnormalities, that test will also give you the results of the gender. And that's the most accurate way to find out early on in your pregnancy what you're having, because that test looks for chromosomal abnormalities, so it can detect the Y or the X chromosome of the baby, and that's how you learn what you're having. In Germany, I actually just had this test done. And when we were going through the results, I had my camera set up to get our reaction on film. Like I was so excited. I thought for sure we were gonna learn what the gender was early on. And when we got the results, it said gender unspecified or undetermined. And so I'm like, well, what the heck? Am I carrying an alien? Like, how can you not determine what the gender is? You got, you know, the most accurate test possible. From what I've heard, and I don't know how accurate this is, Germany shies away from telling their patients what they're having that early because I guess there's been like history of patients deciding to go through with an abortion if it's not the gender that they were hoping for. So that was a little disappointing that we didn't find out. So we're basically gonna have to wait until baby is big enough to fully like confirm what it is. The other thing that was a little different is usually in the US, when you have to give a urine sample, they will give you a like a lab cup that has your name on it, like your date of birth, your information, whatever, with like a lid that you screw on after you give the sample, and then you put it in that little door, and then the lab tech takes it from the other side. Here what you do is you basically get like a little plastic cup. You go to the bathroom, they don't even hand you anything. They just say, okay, go to the restroom and give us a urine sample. You go into the bathroom, they have this little cup dispenser thing in between the both stalls, and they have Sharpies. So what you do is you pull the little plastic cup down, you just write your name around the cup, and then you give the sample. There's no lid, so there's like chance of spilling it when you're in the bathroom. And then like when you get out of the stall, you and the other women are just like holding the open cup of pee and basically put it in this little box drawer. I just thought it was really strange. It's not the most professional method of doing things, so I found that to be a little interesting. So yeah, it was just different, caught me off guard, because I am used to having a label on it with my patient information and then a lid that you can screw on and close it, make sure that it's not gonna spill. Okay, so the phlebotomist, when she has to take all your vitals and stuff, or when she does your, when she tests your urine samples, or when she has to draw your blood, she'll bring you into this room, and she doesn't wear gloves when she draws blood. I found that to be a little strange, because I'm pretty sure anytime you're touching blood, you should have gloves on. The other thing that's super convenient about the German OBs, what they do for you that I don't think the States does, is once you reach a certain point in your pregnancy, they start doing everything digitally. So whatever pictures they take during your ultrasound and during your appointment, they end up transferring to a DVD, and then they give that to you, and you're responsible for bringing that in every time you have another appointment, so that they can put updated and new pictures on it every time you come in. This last time, they gave me a disc of all the photos. There were a lot more, and I can print them off however I want with whatever quality of paper I want. But I can also download them digitally and then send them to friends and family, and that just makes it a lot easier than taking a picture of a picture. I don't know how it is in the States, but my doctor's already giving me 40 ultrasounds and 40 pictures every time I go in, so that's been really fun. I think he does it as a courtesy because he knows that it's more exciting to look at, and it's fun to see the baby in 4D actually look like a baby, especially when it is so small and early on. The other thing that I just wanted to briefly touch on is being pregnant in a pandemic. It's really weird that Mike can't go into any of the appointments with me. I think that kind of takes the joy away from a first-time father. I get it, I understand. They're trying to keep people safe and healthy and eliminate the risk of, sickness. When you're the woman and you're pregnant, you're experiencing all these things that are changing. So it's already kind of mentally preparing you that yes, I'm a mom, I'm becoming a mom, my body is supporting this life and this baby. And for a dad, the only thing that they really get to rely on to make them feel like a dad is being able to be there for the ultrasound appointments. It's been difficult doing it alone. I FaceTime him. My office is really good about letting me film, letting me FaceTime. There's no weird rules with not being able to record anything. I'm thankful that my office is lenient and they don't really care. They're not strict about that stuff. So yeah, I understand why things have to be the way that they are, but I just hope that Mike gets to experience it soon with me. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I will show you what my bump looks like real quick. This is my bump. My leggings are pretty much high-waisted, so it kind of tucks it in. But if I lower this, here's a little bump that's starting to stick out. In the mornings, it's usually a little bit flatter, but like I said, this outer part at the bottom is definitely baby. But yeah, it's not you know, it's not big or huge or anything. Yeah, it's just a little guy. So that is my first trimester video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little update. I'm excited to take you along on this journey. I hope that the second trimester is as easy as the first one was, and I'm looking forward to seeing how my body continues to change. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.